My name's Tim Huber, sitting here with Andy Dacey, and he's the inventor of the recovery ring. Are you?
That's quite right.
All right.
I'll just confirm that.
Yeah, not bad. So tell me a little about these, and we'll get into how they work, but how'd you come up with it, or what were you seeing that gave you the idea?
Okay, the idea came from watching ropes running through an offset on sailing boats.
Ah, okay.
And while I was there in the boat, I thought, I wonder if that would work the other way around for me.
Yeah.
And then thought about some method of holding it in place while we run the winch rope through there.
Yep.
So, because of the rope designs changing over the last 10 years, and providing us with extremely strong rope, and soft shackle design improving, we went for an experiment and tried a number of different size rings.
Yeah.
And I've ended up with, these are the ones that I use personally.
Yep.
Because I like the bigger bend radius for the ropes.
Yeah.
The issue we thought might occur because the ring turns around on the soft shackle.
Yep.
Was that there would be heat and damage on the soft shackle. But this has proven not to be the case so far. And we've subjected it to well over its maximum load on a number of occasions.
Yep.
But my tip would be to go with the larger shackle size. And the strongest shackle size you can use.
Got it.
Because inevitably when you're using the rings, you're starting to have mechanical advantage.
Yep.
So that multiplies up on your anchor point, which is in effect your ring. So what I would do with a soft shackle then, you can put any number of rings depending on the strength of your soft shackle and the space you have. So the rings stack together so you can multiply up the mechanical advantage.
And then when you're saying stacking, since we have two here, essentially you're saying like this, to have a double pulley setup.
That's it, yeah.
What sort of orientation is it best to be pulling?
Okay, so you want to try and pull at right angles to the load there. So you end up with, it's a dead giveaway with this type of design shackle.
Yeah, with the double.
That the rings stay where the two tails are,
Got it.
So that way then, it pulls at right angles to the knot, rather than having an angle on the knot where you've got a risk of deforming or reducing the strength in the knot. So this is the correct way to set the soft shackle ring.
Okay. And then there's not friction between the two spinning?
No, you do get some, obviously metal against metal, you will get a little bit of wear, but it moves so slowly.
Because now that you've done two on this end, you must have one on the other, so you're 3 to 1 essentially.
3 to 1, yeah. So everything slows down.
Okay.
So you get compression like you would with a winch line.
Yeah.
You need to double check that after significant loads, as you would inspect on your winch line. But otherwise, they've been working superbly at the moment. I've had no issues with them.
And so essentially with the winch line through here, with that large diameter there, is there sizes of winch line that you would suggest minimum and maximum? Or? Yeah,
you can, on this sort of size of ring, you could do a ½ inch no problem. So that would suffice for most people's winches, even the larger trucks.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter what size you go down to then.
It's just
improve the bend radius on them.
And these ones are rated to 40,465 pounds?
These rings are, they've been tested well beyond that. And if you think about the way the things are set up, if there is any problem within the ring, and all we found when we were trying to break the rings, they deformed.
Okay.
Rather than
because it's
broke or anything.
Compression force versus
compression force versus anything. So you're not trying to pull a ring apart at all. So because you've got your ropes running over. If that does fail,
so you've got your winch line here pulling this way against it, so you have line on both sides.
So you've got line
cancelling the forces out to some degree.
Absolutely, and it's an enclosed system. So if anything did happen, if the ropes drop out, if they went slack, they still enclosed
within the soft shackle.
Within the
so you have to have this fail and this fail before there was actually a release.
And if you're not managing your system properly, that should, that's pretty stupid really. You should manage your winch recovery properly.
Okay. Now the different sizes of these, what currently are you making?
We've got 2 sizes at the moment. Another smaller size for UTV motor recovery. And that can work on a smaller size shackle then, on the standard 3/8 shackle. This is a ½ inch shackle, made from Dyneema. We're working on a number of other little things at the moment. And first of all, we changed the design on the soft shackle because what I wanted to have was something simplified for use. Because there are a number of different soft shackle designs, and the problem with some of them, you have a crossover at this point.
So there's two openings.
So there's two openings, and it can get a little bit confusing.
If you've never used one before,
used one before, So I mean, like anything, you should be trained in using them properly.
So this one just has one opening, which is a crossover. Okay.
Yeah, one which is a crossover, so you can't make those mistakes.
Makes sense.
I've tried this with stronger types of Dyneema as well. These are actually Samson ropes, the Amsteel Blue.
Okay.
But I've also made some out of an SK78 Dyneema made by English Braids, and that's considerably stronger than this again.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, it's to do with the makeup of the fibres and the way they realign the fibres.
Okay. Yeah, the chemical
in a
makeup.
molecular way. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than, of course, because you can't stretch.
Now, with this end having two of these here, does that denote anything different, or the knot?
Yeah, it's important. Most of or in fact, all the strong shackle designs have tails like this because the knot has changed. They call it a button knot, but it's actually two knots in one, really.
Okay.
So the tails are then tucked back through the shackles at the end. So when the knot finishes in a crown knot, the two tails come back down and are buried back within the soft shackle. So
that compares to the ones where I've seen the ends that look like they've been sort of burnt and just pushed back in. That's a different kind of knot.
Different kind of knot. Right? They're perfectly good to use, the other ones. But what this gives you is 4 ropes in there, in effect. So it gives you a better bend radius on the eye, which is where these normally go.
Okay.
So that's just like design.
So you're increasing that diameter around here
for
this line to bend around.
That's it. You got it.
And then you're saying this is generally the failure point on soft shackles.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
We have tested these in some severe ways as well, which is really good. It's always a good thing to do. Always welcome feedback on any of the stuff. And it's a constantly moving process as well, the design.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm working on some, particularly for the competition industry, where they use very, very quick winches.
Yes.
That's the one I'm working on at the moment, but it'll be a soft shackle.
So like the rock buggy, king of the hammers, that type of
you got it.
world.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say about using sheaths on these? I noticed there's just the heat shrink giving you the working load limit, minimum braking strength. But I noticed some have a protective sheath.
I can understand why they put a protective sheath on there, because they're using them incorrectly.
On sharp edges, etc.
Sharp edges. You can't bend this around a sharp edge. Any rope doesn't like squared ends on metal. If that's all you got to attach to in your vehicle, you need something else as well to attach. So therefore, something like a standard bow shackle in there first, then this into the bow shackle. 2 bits of kit, and I'm always a fan of trying to reduce the amount of kit you have in any sort of system, really. So it could mean looking at the way you've got your anchor points on the vehicle, perhaps modifying those a little bit first if you're going to go just with soft shackles.
Smoothing them out and changing them.
I'm a big fan of them. I mean, they don't fit everything. Like we said, when you've got hard metal, then it's not a place for soft shackles. The reason I don't like any covers, and I don't like them on the winch lines either, is you can't examine the rope. You can say, okay, I can move the sheath up and down and then check. But it ends up being more of a nuisance than anything else, to be honest.
Do you find that they trap dirt in there too? Because
they do.
Instead of opening the fibre?
Yeah, you can see the design. It's an open fibre, 12-strand design. So it would be easy for dirt, mud, sand to get trapped within a sheath and then cause friction damage inside then.
Got it.
So
makes sense.
I try and keep them open because it's easy to inspect the ropes as well then.
Makes sense. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem, Tim. My pleasure.
Thanks. Kind of in a follow-up to our little interview we did with Andy, I wanted to show you guys how you set these up and use them. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go ahead and give you a little showing here. Hopefully on the screen there should be some photos of the smaller version of these that are good for moto and ATV. Really though, to be rated at 11 or 12,000 pounds, they're still good for most pretty good sized trucks like even our Land Cruiser. So these being rated to 40,465, it's pretty overkill. This is just a lifting sling. It's what we use now. as a tree sling. We're going on a trip for a year in the truck, so I didn't want to carry too many things that were sort of doubling up. So you can use this for a lot of different things, but doubled like this, it spreads the load enough that I think it's a pretty good tree sling. So we got our winch line here. We're doing just a single pulley back to the truck. You can set these up, several of them, on the soft shackle. So there you go. So we've got the recovery ring around the thickest part of the rope there, the two lines together. And there's all sorts of different knots from what I've seen on soft shackles. This is one that Andy's been using and the guys at 7P have been using because it's a little bit stronger and it raises up the breaking strength a little. So all this stuff's rated. This soft shackle is 36,000 pounds. The recovery ring is 40,465. So with a truck that's probably pushing 6,700 pounds right now, it's a huge safety factor. Not to mention that to get these ratings, they have to break a whole lot higher than this. As you can see, since the winch line's through here, it's really a compression force on the ring. So you're not trying to pull the ring to pieces or pull it apart, right? It's this line is pushing against this line. So even if this were to fail somehow, you've got a soft shackle and this all kind of containing it. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of pulling.